Hello, everyone. Napoleon is the newest biopic to be released. It's by the director Ridley Scott. And as most biopics are, so they do have some inaccuracies that they do sacrifice for the sake of entertainment. But what happens when the movie's not entertaining? It just kind of becomes a bit useless. For Napoleon, this movie has several inaccuracies, and I get that they do that sometimes for the story, but this movie just wasn't entertaining. I was bored out of my mind and I wanted to leave within the first 45 minutes. I would rather watch any other movie we've seen this year than watch this one ever again.
I was really looking forward to this movie. Like really looking forward to it because I really like history. I did really well. I mean, I may not look like I cared, but I did. And I'm a big fan, of biopics when they're done right. And you know,
We've had some good ones recently too.
I was really, yeah, I was really excited because it's Ridley Scott, because it's Joaquin Phoenix. He's a phenomenal actor. Ridley Scott is, to be fair, he's either hit or miss. But Joaquin is a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
I was scared, and I was telling Griffin this when we got the casting of Vanessa Kirby as Josephine. Before the women jump on here and attack me, let me explain why. Vanessa Kirby is give or take about 15 years younger than Joaquin Phoenix is in real life. She is stunningly one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood right now. I thought she was just gorgeous from when she played Princess, Margaret in The Crown. She may or may not be playing. Hopefully, she's playing. If not, I'm going to kill somebody. Susan Storm. Um, here's my problem with it. Josephine in real life is much older than Napoleon Bonaparte. About the same age gap that there is between Vanessa and Joaquin. Her looks were gone by the time that, we get to this part of Napoleon's life. She was not able to bear Napoleon children. So imagine being the emperor of, I don't know, pretty much Europe, and you can't have an heir. Nowadays, that's not a big thing. You can just go and adopt. But back then, being a monarch, you were supposed to be able to produce an heir. Okay, that's one thing. So I was scared about that because Josephine, from portraits and from historical stuff, we know she was just not that great of a looking chick. Well, she was kind of a hoe. So here you have Vanessa Kirby, who's just fucking stunning looking. Okay, that was my concern number one. Yesterday, Griffin, as most of the time, he saw it before I did. And most of the time, he doesn't say anything. But he flat out told me, he was like, fuck, Edward. And I was like, oh shit, dude, that's because his showing was, during normal business hours.
I hate
I
this
went
movie
to
so
a
much.
I went to a midnight showing of this movie. Now remember, I was very excited for this, regardless of my thoughts on Vanessa Kirby, who I love, by the way, and I think she's phenomenal in her acting here. She stands toe to toe with Joaquin Phoenix, and
Oh yeah.
you can't deny that she's a great actress because when you stand toe to toe with someone like Joaquin Phoenix, who's a phenomenal actor, for her to shine too, that's saying something. There's a fucking scene in here where Griff just mentioned historical inaccuracies, and we're all for that. Just do it your own, change things up a little bit, maybe the scenery, maybe change the name of a couple characters. We understand it happens a lot. Napoleon was hell bent on, recollecting historical artifacts and preserving them much more than he would care about his own life.
Hmm.
There's a scene in here, and Griff did warn me about this shit. It's one thing to hear it, it's another thing to see it. Now, if you don't care about history and you're just in here for action and some dialogue, you're not going to care. And maybe you're going to say, Griff, Edward, you guys are fucking nuts. This movie's awesome. There's a scene in here where Napoleon goes to Egypt. He invades Egypt. That's well documented. And he fucking fires cannons at the pyramids.
He would never do. There's a lot of out of character moments like that.
That that just I don't know why Ridley Scott made the choice to do that. I don't know why he rolled the
Oh, I
dice
can
on that.
actually tell you exactly why he did that.
Okay.
I saw an interview because they had an historian from Time Magazine come in just to make sure that everything is good enough. Um, and
That
of
makes this
course,
worse.
the historian pointed out this would never happen. That he would never do this. But the historian laughed when he read the scene. That's exactly why he kept it in. And that's one of my problems with this movie. He tried to make this movie comedic, but none of it landed whatsoever. He tried making this a comedy, and it didn't work
Grant
at
you,
all.
Napoleon did take bold measures to,
Mm-hmm.
make his point across. There is the infamous, before he was emperor, when, shit got out of hand with, the riots and things like that. And he loaded cannons with all kinds of shit.
Anything, forks.
Nails, forks, knives, anything that would poke. And he shot that shit at the crowd. And it was effective because they got their shit and left.
Mm-hmm.
But he wouldn't do that and yeah,
No,
that
he
sounds
wanted to
awful that he would
preserve.
care more about
Well,
hard
yeah,
effects than he would human lives. But he was Napoleon was in 60 something battles. Here you really see three of them, which is when you watch these kind of movies, you don't watch all of their battles and things like that. The action was, I thought it was good. I thought it was enjoyable. I don't agree with Griff on the fact that he would rather watch Batman and Robin or fucking Fast Five or what is it, 10
yeah, I'd
over
watch
this.
any of them over this.
I
This,
I wouldn't, but I also can't sit here and tell you that this is a good movie. I can sit here and tell you that Joaquin did a great job
yeah,
as he always does. Vanessa is, and that's my one of my problems with it is that women don't take this the wrong way. She's just too beautiful to look at in the role. And Josephine, if you're going for accuracy, which clearly that's not the goal of this movie, um, Vanessa Kirby was the wrong. I'm not saying we need an old 90-year-old hag to play the role, but Vanessa Kirby was just not for Josephine. For another character, yes, but not Josephine. We needed an older woman, a woman, yeah, about 10, 15 years older than Napoleon. Um, because the whole dynamic between them, I just didn't buy. I mean, I bought the fact that he was infatuated with her, yeah, because
yeah.
I would be too. Look at her. Um,
I think for
they
this movie,
changed her character up a little too
yeah,
much for me.
yeah. I think for this movie, as Edward said, the actors did the best they can with the script. They did have a few inaccuracies, more than a few. And one thing I noticed at the beginning of the movie that always puzzled me until that aha moment is it never says based on a true story.
Yeah, we're starting off bad when that shit, because it's
It just didn't happen. And
this is a historical figure.
yeah, and some of the dialogue was really well done. It was like taken from letters. It was really beautiful. And then sometimes the dialogue was really really bad. And I don't know why they would do that. I think it may have just been more of the comedic moments that just
I
made the
hated the
dialogue
comedic
worse.
moments. They
Yeah, they
didn't
was just
land.
so bad.
You know, we
Um,
I, I've sat here and ripped Taika Waititi a new ass many times,
I,
and
this
you
was
know,
worse.
DC as well as Marvel about their comedic timing. I can't rip superhero movies an ass about that and then sit here and not tell you how cringy the comedic
So
it
bad.
just didn't land. Like there's a scene
It's just out of place too.
where he's in the trailer, it seems like he's being very serious, where he's like, I don't make any mistakes.
It's because no one would go to the movies otherwise.
But that line here in the movie it's a joke.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't make any mistakes. Ha ha ha. And you're like, what what are you laughing at, dude? That wasn't, so
Especially like given the circumstances, but when he said the line, it was just
I hate ripping this movie a new ass, but there things that I enjoyed. The battle scenes, particularly the ice battle scenes, just the brilliance of Napoleon because he
I
was
do
a
want to talk about that real
military
quick.
genius.
Because yeah, like I do agree, like the strategy of like Napoleon, he was a military genius, and seeing some of that, especially with the ice scene that we saw in the trailer, was really well done. But I think for the most part, a lot of the battle scenes they were violent and horrific. However, they weren't thrilling, in my opinion. I wasn't really. enamored or really captured by them. I did enjoy, like we both said, seeing like the strategic moves behind it and everything like that, but the actual action itself seemed to be more just there to for the sake of action than for anything else. It just seemed unnecessary. It wasn't that gripping.
Yeah, I know. I think, I mean, the horse thing with the cannonball.
Well, there was
Um,
that. I mean, someone's head got decapitated when someone got stabbed in the gut. It was there was just a lot of gore, and some of it
and
just
that's
didn't
funny
match.
because Ridley Scott does that really well. There's a lot of movies, Gladiator, Kingdom of Heaven. If you guys haven't seen it, go check that out. And those are done well. Here, I can't understand what happened to him. All I could say is final thoughts. It it really pisses me off to anticipate a biopic, a historical movie like this, and to be let down. It's happened to me with Oliver Stone's Alexander the Great. It just tends to happen a lot. I don't
Yeah,
mind, like as we said at the beginning of the video, oh, for to make this more exciting, we're changing the name of this place, we're changing the name of this character, et cetera, et cetera. But just this kind of shit, him shooting cannonballs at pyramids and the change with Josephine, his wife, things like that. That was miss. I did like his coronation because that's exactly
yeah.
that. That is straight out of history. Napoleon did do that. He took the crown from the Pope and he put it on his head. That is real.
Yeah, there are a lot of
Um,
cool scenes. It's a 2 hour 48 movie, and the cool scenes were few and far between. Where you're just sitting there, just waiting and waiting for the next good scene to come.
Also, Joaquin is a phenomenal actor. I can't
Yeah,
stress that enough. But there are scenes in here where he's supposed to be Napoleon in his 20s, and he fucking looks older than me.
yeah.
So,
It just doesn't look great.
it doesn't maybe de-aging or maybe have
Younger
cast
actor. Yeah,
younger actor for that particular which
maybe
I'm
these
all
two
for, by the
actors.
way. If you're gonna tell me the story of someone throughout their life, yeah, get two, three actors. I
Yeah,
have no problem with that. As opposed to getting an actor that's, in his 50s and is supposed to be portraying someone in their 20s, doesn't look it, obviously. Didn't land. I'm sad to say this, man. I was really excited. I was
yeah. I
hoping
know
that
you were.
this was gonna be in my, you know, great movies of the year. It's not.
Oh
It's
no, it's the opposite.
Yeah, it's the complete opposite, which sucks.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, Edward, you just like to rip on movies." No,
No,
I
no. This
was
this
really,
movie's just
I was
really
really
poorly made.
cheering, and I was telling Griffin, and maybe even there was a part of him where he was like, "Fuck, Edward's gonna like it, and I hate it." No, he asked me a very important question yesterday. He was like, "Well, it depends. How big were you into Napoleon? How much do you actually know of him?" A lot.
Yeah.
I think if I didn't, I'd be like, "This movie rocks. This is the best thing I've seen this year."
Yeah, and
But
that's maybe how you guys feel about it if you don't if you're not as into the history, that's totally okay. You may still go and enjoy this movie. Just for us, inaccuracies versus entertainment. I get you have to give one for the other, but you got neither here, and that's
yeah,
my issue.
which does raise a question for me. Will people come out of this movie who, and I don't want to dumb anyone down, but will some people come out of this movie and say, "Yep, that's how that shit went down. It's just Napoleon just shot at the pyramids."
I think so. I definitely think that'll happen. I think it'll happen with many biopics, as there's inaccuracies in all of them, and that's why we have the based on a true story, because not everything's right. And so
Yeah,
I
this
do
one
think,
didn't even say
yeah,
that
they just forgot that.
or
Forgot.
didn't care.
Yeah. So no, I do think some people will do that, and I don't think that's their fault whatsoever. You're going
Yeah.
into this movie, at least I did, expecting at least mostly to be accurate, to learn something. That wasn't
There's
the
a
point of
lot
this
of
movie.
good Napoleon movies out there, by the way.
Yeah, this is not
Yes,
one of them, sadly.
they're old as balls, but they're good. They're very. I remember back in history class, there's just both fifth and sixth grade, same different teacher would put on the same movie, but I think it's called Battle of Waterloo or some shit like that.
Oh
It's
yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
good.
That sounds
Yeah.
familiar. Yeah, let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments, what you guys liked, what you didn't like. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, stay up to date with our current videos. We'll see you guys next time for episode 4 of Invincible.